Welcome, everybody. My name is Matt Weld, and I'm down here outside St. Louis in the Illinois area, and I'm happy to be with you today. We are going to be doing a quick guided meditation followed by a breathing exercise to just kind of center ourselves, and then we'll start an open vinyasa section for about 30, 40 minutes or so. And the purpose of vinyasa is to move with your breath. And so we'll take it slow. And if there's time, we'll then move into a breath to movement. So we'll actually be, moving on an inhale, moving on an exhale, and we'll work through that progression. And then we'll end when it's done, and we'll do some stretching there at the end. All right. So what I'd like you to do is just start out, because you've probably come from somewhere hectic, right? Especially if you're an educator. We're recording this in May, so it's Teacher Appreciation Week. So thank you for everything that you do. But it's a crazy time of year. So just find an easy seat, something that's comfortable for you. Sit up nice and tall. Make sure that your head is aligned over your spine. Your spine is connected to your pelvis. You're not slouching. Sitting up straight, shoulders are back. You can even, on an inhale, lift your shoulders up to your ear, roll them back on the exhale, and let those shoulder blades drop down into their natural place. Okay, so your chest may feel a little more open than it normally does, especially if you're used to hunching over and sitting at a keyboard, like a lot of us do. So just come to a sense of stillness. Notice your breath. Don't do anything special with it right yet. Just notice it. I invite you to close your eyes. Focus on that breath. We're trying to bring our awareness from the craziness, slowly close it in to what we can control. Not all that crazy busyness outside, but our breathing. And then I want you to start to feel where your body is connected to the floor. Is it your knees? Is it your bottom? Can you put your hands flat on the floor? Can you feel the earth pushing back? Because that's how you can stay grounded. One of the Yoga Sutras, it's called tapas, which means burning, which means discipline. And I've been thinking a lot about that recently as we're in Teacher Appreciation Week and the crazy end of the school year, that we tend to go all out, but really, if we have discipline to just do that 1%, and we keep doing that 1%, pretty soon we'll accomplish our goals. So as we're going through our practice today, I invite you to set an intention, perhaps around this idea of tapas, self-discipline. Or if you're working on something else, feel free to set that as your intention. One big breath out. Another big breath in. And then connect as much as you can to the floor. And then I want you to feel the floor pushing back at you. And then with your imagination, just see if you can extend yourself through the floor. Just root down like you're a tree. Root down into that ground. Feel the energy that the ground is providing. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, extend those roots just a little bit farther. Breathe in. Extend those roots a little farther on the exhale. Breathe in. Same thing on the exhale. By now, your roots are getting pretty far down into the earth. One more inhale. The earth's core. Push just a little bit farther. Now on the inhale, breathe in some of that warmth. Breathe in some of that energy. Start to pull those roots back into yourself slowly. Remember, we're doing just a little bit at a time. Pulling in that energy as you withdraw the roots back into yourself. Bringing that earth energy back into you. Three more inhales. And on that last inhale, gently pull that connection. Separate yourself from the floor. Bring your hands to your heart center. That's accessible to you. Put your palms together and really feel that warmth. You can even rub your palms together. Build up some warmth and feel that grounding that you just had. And then roll over your knees and meet me in tabletop. So your shoulders are stacked directly over your wrists. Your hips are stacked over your knees. Wiggle your butt back and forth. Make sure that your spine is aligned. Your head is out straight, and so that your gaze is down at the top edge of your yoga mat or your space, whatever you got going on where you are. Breathe in, and then as you breathe out, shift your gaze back toward your knees, arching your back like a cat, coming into cat pose. Push the floor away, really open up your shoulder blades. And remember to breathe. On your next inhale, dip your spine down, belly button toward the floor, gaze rises up to the wall or whatever you have in front of you for cow pose. Might be a little harder to breathe here, but you're still breathing nice and deep. On your next inhale, back to cat. Push that mat away. Gaze back at your knees. Let's move with breath now. Inhale to cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And then just take about 3 breaths to play around. You can bring your hands over to the side of the mat. Sink your seat down. Feel a stretch along your side body. You can flip your palms so that your fingers are facing your knees. Stretch out the inside of your forearms. Do some hip circles. All right. Make sure that whatever you're doing, you're symmetrical. So if you're doing on one side, make sure you do it on the other side too. And then maybe back in table. All right. Now what I want you to do is root your right hand deep into the mat. Extend your left hand high up toward the ceiling. And then on your exhale, thread the needle so your left hand goes under your right, your side of your head or your left cheek comes down to the mat. Your right hand can be way out in front of you. You can leave it where it was on the mat in front of your face. You can bring it to your lower back. And One more breath in, and on your exhale, replace your hand in front of your face if you have had it somewhere else. Extend that left hand way back up to the ceiling, and then bring it down for tabletop. And let's do the other side. So inhale, right hand high up to the ceiling, keeping everything else rooted. And on your exhale, thread the needle. Right hand comes under your left armpit. Head comes down to the mat. You can have your head, the right side of your head, or your cheek resting on the mat, whatever's comfortable. Don't crick your neck. On your next inhale, rise back up, right hand back up to the ceiling, and then back to tabletop. Shift your hips back and forth, get your spine realigned to where it was. And on your next inhale, lift your right leg, flex your foot. If you want to, you can raise your left hand so that you're stretching in between the two. And then on your exhale, bring elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, connect, elbow to knee. One more time, extend on the inhale. Exhale, connect. And then return to tabletop. Let's do the other side. Extend your left heel and your right hand, or you can leave your right hand on the mat if your balance is wonky today. Breathe in, and on your exhale, click knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. And return hands and knees to the mat. All right, let's go back to the right-hand side. Extend your right leg. And this time what I want you to do is pivot on your left knee, coming into modified side plank. So your right foot is parallel to the short edge of the base of your mat. Your left hand is planted, right hand is reaching toward the ceiling. Inhale, try to touch the ceiling, and on your exhale, push your hips forward and extend your hand to the front of your space. Gaze can be straight ahead, or you can look up toward the ceiling if that's accessible to you. All right, now raise your right leg. So you're balanced on your left hand and your left knee. And if it's okay with you, just pulse it out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And without going back to the ground, bring your right foot out in front of you so it's on the right-hand side of your mat. And pulse that out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shift it back or modified side plank again. Get our body back in order. Good. And come back down to tabletop. Let's do the other side. So extend your left leg, your right hand, or no, not our right hand. We're switching over to modified side plank here. So left foot comes to the short edge of your mat. Left arm reaches toward the ceiling on the inhale. Exhale, stretch it. So your left hand palm toward the floor. Shift your hips forward. On your next breath in, inhale your left leg up. Good, just stay there. And then we'll pulse it out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that left leg out in front of you and pulse it out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And without putting it back to the ground, slowly shift it back. Modified side plank. And on your exhale, come back to tabletop. Good. Lift up your legs, your feet, windshield wiper your legs back and forth, and then slowly drop your seat down to your heels, coming into child's pose. So forehead is on your mat, your legs, your knees are apart, but your toes are touching. Make this an active child's pose so your elbows are lifted off the mat. Good, and then push yourself up to tabletop. Extend your right leg back, your left leg back, so you're in a plank. And let's just have some fun here with plank because, you know, planks are a thing. So push that mat away. Your gaze is at the top edge of your mat. If you want to be down on your knees, totally cool. Okay. Otherwise, your body is straight. Your pointer fingers are straight to the top of your mat. And then keeping your elbows tucked on your sides, we're slowly going to lower down to the floor as slow as you can. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Keep those hands where they are. And then, so your hands are under your shoulders, right? The tops of your feet are resting on the floor. The gaze is straight down the floor in front of you. Now what I want you to do is push yourself, like you're trying to push yourself down to the bottom of your mat, but you really can't go anywhere, okay? So you have that tension in your body. Now, on the inhale, lift your shoulders up off the mat as far as they can while you're still pushing the mat forward. You won't be able to go very high, but you can really feel it in your triceps. This is Cobra. And exhale, go back down. Push the mat, lift up on an inhale. This time, look over your right shoulder for a breath cycle. Inhale back to center and forehead to the mat. Push that mat forward. Inhale, look over your left shoulder for a breath cycle. Inhale back to center and down. Good. All right, take your hands and put them at your side. So your palms are facing up, hands are down by your hips. And then for a full locust, you can clasp your hands behind you. So they're clasped, you know, church steeple, look at all the people type of hands. And then lift off the floor, you lift your chest off the floor on an inhale, pushing your hands behind you. If you can also lift your legs for locust, keep your feet together. Good, and exhale, relax. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, lift up for locust. Stay for an inhale. Exhale back to the mat. Place your hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes, and on inhale, push up to plank. And send your tailbone up and back for downward facing dog. This is the first downward facing dog, so keep that tailbone up high. If you need to bend your knees, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that, but push those shoulders toward your thighs. Really open up your shoulders. If you want to pedal your legs out, go to the sides of your feet, stretch out your calves, take this time to do that. Good, and then slowly walk up, stay in downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees, and then travel forward into forward fold. You can tiptoe, you can jump, hop, float, however you get there. So now we're in forward fold. So our feet are parallel under your hips. If you have tight hamstrings or you just want to bend your knees, that's cool too. Isometrically, which means that they don't actually move, but the energy is there as if they are moving. Rotate your heels apart from each other, your toes inward. Good. So let's do some sun salutations. All right. So on an inhale, half lift to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, high mountain. Arms up overhead, hands together. Breath in, and on exhale, swan dive down to forward fold. Inhale, half lift again. Exhale, plant your hands, step your right foot back, your left foot back. Take it down for a chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths. And out. Breathe in and out. One more breath in, you're going to bend your knees. Exhale, travel forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your left foot back. Step your right foot back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths this time. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, travel forward. Half lift and fold. Inhale, rise and fold on the exhale. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step, jump back to chaturanga. Upward facing, downward facing. Inhale, bend your knees. Last one. Exhale, travel forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Rise. Here we go down again. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. All right. Good set of sun salutations. All right, we're still here in downward facing dog. Let's do that bend the knee thing. So inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, step forward to the top of your mat so that we're in forward fold again. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up to chair. Fun pose here. Hands can be at your heart center. They can go way out in front of you, up over your head. Take a peek past your knees. Make sure you can see your toes. All right, now what I want you to do is on the next exhale, keep your knees same where they are, same place where they are. Don't let one go out in front of the other, but twist to the left. Look down, make sure your knees are still in line. Inhale back to center. We'll go to the other side. Exhale to the right. Good. Inhale back to center. Now put your weight into your left foot. Lift your right leg up off the mat. So your left leg is still bent. And slowly step it back. Coming into high lunge. Okay, so your right leg is straight and strong. You're up on the ball mound of your right foot. Left knee is over your left ankle. Arms up over your head, nice and strong. Biceps next to your ears. Good. Breathe in, and on your exhale, open arm twist to the left. So your right arm is in front of you, left arm behind. Inhale back to center. Open up the other direction. Good. Back up to center. This time, open up to warrior two. So you're going to rotate there on the ball of your right foot. Open up into warrior two facing the right hand side of your mat. Make sure your hips are pushed in. We don't want to be out like this, okay? Make sure your hips are tucked in like flat Stanley in between 2 panes of glass. Gazes over your left fingers. Yes, you're still here. On the inhale, flip your palm. Exhale, reverse warrior. Right hand comes to just to rest slightly on the back of your right leg. Look up the ceiling. Breathe in. Exhale to extended side angle. I know my back is to the camera. Sorry. Once again, keep those hips pressed forward. Your left hand can be on a block, can be on your knee. Okay, breathe in and breathe out. On your next breath in, come up to star pose. Sorry, so we're going to shift our feet in so that they're about 45 degrees, arms up overhead. You're a star. Happy Teacher Appreciation Week. And then sink down into goddess. Okay, hands can be out. They can be at heart center. And we love our thighs. So you can shift back and forth. Come up onto your toes. Still keep into that goddess pose though. Okay. Good, and then lift back up to star. And then let's do a high skandasana on the right, so it's the back side of your mat. So you're gonna come up onto your left heel. Your right knee is over your right toes. And then switch it out to the other side. Good. And then let's do a low skandasana to the back of your mat. So really flex that left foot. Okay. Energy all to the ceiling. And then if you can have a minute and do the bind. Press your knee open with your right elbow. Good. And then shift over. Skandasana on the left. Same thing. If your knee is funky like mine from years of running, make sure you're supported. Don't put all that weight into that knee. All right, now we're going to a funky transition. So heel toe your left foot to the left side of your mat. Both hands facing the top edge of your mat. Rotate on your right foot, coming into I don't know, like a lizard lunge, but I want your right knee to be still up off the mat if you can. Okay, and press that left knee into your shoulder. Now, a couple options here. Okay, you can stay right here. You can come down to your knee. You can move into Ikapada arm balance. Whatever's calling to you. Okay. So just take some breaths and do that. Just play around. If you are attempting the arm balance, you can put your left knee on top of your left chaturanga elbow. I put my right hip on top of my right elbow for a quick balance. All right, so moving back in lizard. And then we're gonna shift our left leg up and back for three-legged dog. Straighten those hips out. Come back down to downward facing dog. And let's do the other side. Walk forward to the top of your mat. Into forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. This time, let's twist a little right first. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, left. Inhale, back to center. Put the weight into your right foot, lift your left, and step it back. Coming into high lunge, going just a little bit faster. Inhale, nice and straight. Exhale, open your arms to the right. Left arm in front, right arm back. Inhale back to center, switch it out. Right is in front, left is in back. And then just open yourself up to warrior two. So your hips open up, left side of your mat, gazes over your right hands. Right foot is intersecting your left one, which is at the back of your mat. Good. Inhale, flip your palm, your front palm. Exhale, reverse warrior. Left hand can be at the small of your back, lightly resting on your left leg. Keep those legs strong though. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, extended side angle. You want to do the bind, reach under your bent leg with your right hand, left hand behind you, clasp your hands behind your leg. You can also hold a beach ball out in front of you, or none of the above. It's all good. We're being disciplined today. Finding our edge, but not going past. Good, and as we rise up, we're gonna rise up into star pose. And on the exhale, sink down into goddess. We've been here before, so we're not gonna be here that long. Okay, shift over to high skandasana on the back side of your mat. Flex that right toe up to the ceiling. And shift over to the other side. Good, left toe up to the ceiling, left leg nice and straight. And then sink it down to skandasana on the left. I feel that on my inner thigh. Okay, skandasana on the right. There's that bunky transition again. Okay, so you're gonna pivot toward the front of your mat. Both hands go on the inside of your right foot. Keep that right knee pressed up against your shoulders for a lizard. Good breath cycle. Now, if you want to drop your left knee, you can. You can stay right here. Just keep that tension between your right knee and your right shoulder. Okay. Or you can go into the arm balance on this side. In which case your right knee is on top of your right chaturanga elbow, your left hip on top of your left chaturanga elbow. Look forward, see if you can balance. Good, and then come back into that lizard pose where your right foot and both hands are kind of in a line. Breathe in, and on your exhale, lift that right leg up for three-legged dog. Up, up, up. Exhale it back down. And then come down onto your knees. And then roll over your knees onto your seat. Put your soles of your feet together. For cobbler's pose, there's a couple ways you can do this. You can take your hands and push your butt all the way up to your heels, or as far as you can get. That's one thing you can do. The other thing you can do is keep a distance between your heels and your butt. However you do your base, what I want you to do though is keep your spine long, keep your gaze forward, and I want you to bring your chest down to your heels, okay? not your forehead. I want your back to remain straight. So you may only go down a couple inches. Okay. The point is to feel this in your hips. If you can fold all the way forward and rest your forehead on your feet or on a block or on your mat, good for you. It's great. I cannot. Good. Inhale, back up to seated. Stretch your legs out in front of you, nice and straight. Really flex those toes. See if you can lift your heels off the mat so your legs are only resting on your calf muscles. Okay. Inhale your arms up over your head. Exhale, fold over. Touch your toes. You can get a shirt or a towel if your feet are too far away. Loop them around your feet. If you are really flexible and you need extra space, take a block or a couple books or a box or something, put it under your feet and then grab the bottom of that block. Just remember to breathe. We're feeling that fire. We're maintaining the discipline of baby steps. So breathe into your hamstrings or wherever you feel that stretch. One more breath in and out. And then inhale slowly back up to seated. Inhale your arms up over your head. Extend them out in front of you. And then slowly, one vertebrae at a time, roll onto your back. Being careful of your spine. And take rest. Make sure you're grounded. Feet can be splayed open. Hands in contact with the earth. And then do a quick body scan from your heels. Feel them pressing into the ground. Your calves, your thighs, your glutes, your back, your shoulders, your elbows, your hands, your fingertips, and your head. And stay here for 5 breaths. On your next inhale, pull your knees up into your chest and roll over onto your side, whichever one. Stay for a moment of gratitude, being thankful for everyone who made it possible for you to be here today. And then with your top end, push yourself up into a seated position. Arms in prayer, heart center, spine nice and strong. One last inhale together, breathe in all that good energy. On the exhale, the light in me honors and sees the light in each one of you. Namaste.